So here is the finished Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade prototype, and for version 1 I think it works pretty good. The main wrist action is working almost flawlessly, but I want to add a couple upgrades you'll really think is awesome. Alright guys, so I'm here in the BoXZY factory, and thank God for the really high resolution prints. So this is what I got on BoXZY. You can see how nice that is. And this is what I got on my 3D printer. Now this is a $4,000 3D printer that I won in that Boca Bearings contest from you guys voting for me. So thank you so much. And I just want to show the comparison of the two. You can see how this is really stippled. This has obviously been sanded down, but like, look at that surface. It's like disgusting. Now, you could argue that some of my settings are off, but I've printed this thing a couple times, and this was actually supposed to improve it, and there's no comparison. Like, even if I would have sanded this down, I don't think that I could have gotten this, and I'm still going to go do a little bit more to clean it up. So this is a utility knife that was milled on BoXZY, and if this can be done, then we can surely do the entire blade as well. And because I have the ability to 3D print, mill, and laser engrave, I would be able to really diversify the different parts. So for example, if I want to have the stun gun portion, then I would want the entire case to be made out of plastic. So I could 3D print that, or I could mill it out of a solid piece block of Delrin or whatever material would be best. If you have any suggestions, then definitely leave a comment below. This is what I have right now, and if this was made out of metal completely, yeah, it'd be really strong, but I really like that electric stun gun effect. I saw the art on like just Google searching, and I don't think that anyone's attempted this, and I don't know that the Assassin's Creed Hidden Stun Gun Taser, whatever you want to call it, is actually made it into an actual game. So I'm really excited to try and tackle this in real life. And then here's the forward motion. So I have to kind of mess with it a little bit more to get it perfect, but the backwards motion is like perfect. So I'm excited to see if I can actually get this working, but I know that I'm going to use this machine because it's so freaking versatile. So if you guys are interested in a BoXZY, I got you a free shipping code if you use Creed upon checkout. Definitely go and check out their site. It's a really awesome product. You can build a lot of projects, and I'm going to be probably using this on a lot of projects from here on out, and I'll be giving some of the files away for free. So you'll be able to pretty much build along with me. Alright, so literally, you're all wondering, I'm sure, show us how to put it together! Well, for me to do it one time was challenging enough. Look at all this mess. Do you think I had time to record every failure? At some point, you just kind of have to say, okay, I'm just going to get it to work, and then I'm going to make it twice, because everybody wants 2 hidden blades, of course. So we're going to have to hold out for that. But I will give you a list of parts that I think will help you get started. And I guess if you don't have a 3D printer, you're kind of out of luck. But you could buy them printed, or there's like websites where you can find a person with a 3D printer in your area and ask them to print it for you, and you pay them whatever it costs, however they work out a deal. But yeah, I don't want to clean up. Alright, so this thing works pretty well. I'm really impressed. And actually, I'm not surprised because I spent a ridiculous amount of time refining this. From the internal mechanism, rubber bands, how to attach it to your forearm so that it doesn't slide up and down. It's basically digging into my skin right now because I'm using the rough side of the Velcro, but like, I don't think that I'll ever get it to work this well ever again. So enjoy it while it lasts. It's pretty good. gonna have a minute of this. Okay, so I think you get the point. Now, there have been a lot of modifications to an existing model by a Piggy JJ. That's the name of the designer on Thingiverse. So thank you, Piggy JJ, for this, because you basically helped me a lot, but also caused me some serious pain. Now, that's ironic because I think the originator of his inspiration for the design was I'm D-Pain. And that is true. You are a pain in the ass because the model that he made is not available on Shapeways any longer. I don't know if he sold the license to people and they just shared it, so he just made it free. Maybe it's floating out there somewhere, but if you go to I'm D-Pain Reborn on Thingiverse, you will not find his design. You will find his ring, so thank you for that. I did add this mechanism to the thumb. I think that that's smarter. You don't have the rope getting in the way of the actual blade, and you have a lot more mobility with the thumb, in my opinion, and it's just easier. And if you think about it, you really can't move your ring finger as much as your other fingers, and it's just the weakest finger. Switch it to the thumb, and I'm glad. It's like perfect, because I looked at the future Assassin's Creed model that if you Google search like Assassin's Creed Modern, it shows. And what it seems like is there's 2 levels, which is interesting because that's exactly what I have here. I had to add a little bit more room on top so that it wasn't catching into my hand, like Stab-O-Matic. Hand Stabber 5000. So I added that extra layer, but that also gives me the ability to add a whole nother blade right here. Now, whenever I saw that modern Assassin's Creed blade, I didn't realize that it had 2 mechanisms, and that's really tough to do. I don't know how I would do that unless I had a side thumb and a forward thumb that, like, basically I don't think that it would work. So this is the new blade that I was thinking about replacing it with. So I redesigned this one myself. I added some little stepping right there, as you can see. And this is going to sit right on top there. And it's not going to get in the way because I've removed a little bit of it. And it might even strengthen the actual blade itself because it's made out of 3D printed material. And that also justifies why I'm using plastic. I'm sure I could find like a ceramic blade. That'd be expensive to have anything made custom. But plastic is great, the ABS plastic, because it basically insulates it so that I can have the stun gun hop across. Now, another reason that I wanted to add this extra layer is because I'm going to have a stun gun piece right here. So if I wanted to grab something and then I could just have a stun gun really close by if I wanted to throw a jab or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm over analyzing it. But I don't want that stun gun arc to just go straight into my wrist. This just complete train wreck came to a final conclusion that I think it's going to be okay. So this is what I'm thinking about. Now I'll show you a clip of it actually working. I just taped everything together, but it will arc across the blade as I'm hoping. I just think that I tried to overtake way too much, and I did not anticipate this much trial and error for this stupid model. And you can see that's pretty cool. My OCD is like, why aren't you straight? So what I'm probably gonna do is add a little gear piece just to go make this custom. It just kind of looks like a little mushroom printed upside down. You're gonna want some Velcro. This is what's going to be used to attach it to your forearm. You also need some Kevlar thread. This is important because it's a perfect thickness for our application. It's not going to snap after you've spent countless hours trying to get the knot in the perfect position. You'll want some of these small rubber bands, and this is actually what's controlling the little sliding mechanism. So you also need to go through a little bit of searching. This is an assortment of rubber bands. I just threw it in this box because I needed to find the right one. Some of these are really interesting. Like, what would you even use some of these for? But this is the type that you want to look for in the thickness. Now, you may be able to work around that with anything else, but the nice thing is that this came in one assortment bag I got from the dollar store, and it's perfect because there are so many types. You can find the exact one, and you don't have to buy a whole bag just for one project, so it's perfect. I'm really happy. I have no problem with this. So you also want some of these screws. These are 440 by a quarter. I think this is a 1/4 inch. This might be 3/8, and they use a 3/32 hex wrench. So this is what's going to go and hold this thing together. Yes, I can't get enough of that. So as I'm sitting here in hysteria with just crap everywhere, I mean, my desk is literally my workspace. This is how I roll, and it works. This thought dawns on me: what if I 3D print everything the way I like and just does not work? Proof of concept is not there, and I need to find out right now if this is going to actually transfer. So the idea is, I have these little prongs from a stun gun, and it looks kind of like this. They usually sit on here, the little pointy horns, call them that. Put those on the side of the case, and so you will have a stun gun active whenever it's not actually deployed. So just for close quarters, if you grab someone, you have that right there. The next thing is, will that transfer into the blade once there is a smaller gap, which is why I'm putting these steel pieces of steel on my blade. And so I have this battery, which this little 3.7 volt battery will work with this and should, in theory, create our desired results. Ta-da! So it is arcing at the tip. That's because it's a little bit narrower there, so what I'll end up doing is probably cutting off a little corner and just setting it right in the groove. That way, it is literally 4:39 in the morning, and I'm doing this. The path of least resistance will be at the very tip of the blade. Yes! Okay, well, I think that was pretty cool. This thing's obviously functional. I was able to do that entire demonstration explanation while wearing it. It is a decent size, and it works really well. So eventually I'm going to show you how this is built. I'll do like a step-by-step thing, but there are just so many problems with this design that I want to recreate it completely myself. Now, you can argue that, you know, all he did was 3D print it, but there's a lot of things. There's even another piece that I added there because this thing was squeezing in, and it's not actually attached to the magazine or the carrier, or whatever you want to call it. So that's why I had to add the electrical tape. And it would have been so simple to add just the same little tabs here onto this portion, and you could have had 4 spots where this would have anchored. I don't know why they didn't do that. I hope that the originator is watching this and they'll just fix that file, because that would solve so many problems. But it works. I'm so relieved, and I'm ready to add some more modifications and the stun gun portion. I think that'll be really, really cool. So let me know if you're excited for that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, take it easy.
Where is it written that all our dreams must be small ones?